Good morning, YouTube. Well, it's morning right now when I'm recording this, so insert whatever time of day it is where you're listening to this. So, today I want to talk about this Destiny 2 in 2019. So, I bought Destiny back when it came out. Sorry, Destiny 2. I never really played Destiny. So, I bought Destiny 2, and I just never got into it. I didn't think it was in a good state when it came out. It just, it didn't take hold of me. But recently, I started getting back into the looter shooter genre, which I heard someone say on YouTube, which is perfectly describes this kind of game where you go around shooting stuff and then you get loot and rinse and repeat. It can be a very fun gameplay loop. So I saw a bunch of Anthem stuff. I was playing Escape from Tarkov. And I was like, I want to get into Destiny 2 again. So I've been playing it the past week or two, and it is actually today is February 1st of 2019. So I thought I'd put down my thoughts about it a little bit. And to sum it up, I really like Destiny 2 in 2019. Let's start off with the graphics. Now, the graphics you're seeing in the video are not really representative of what I see. I'm not recording this in 4K, but I am playing it in 4K. I maybe next video I'll try to make that happen. But for this video, I just can't do 4K. But the graphics are amazing. This game looks sweet in 4K. And, I am really impressed with the environments and just the colors. Everything just looks great. Everything is smooth. I don't have an amazing computer. It was amazing like 3 years ago, maybe. I'm just running with a 1080 Ti. No, sorry, a 980 Ti. And I have a bunch of RAM. I have 32 gig of RAM and a gig SSD. But it looks great at 4K on my system. I got a 4K. I'm using that Dell 4K monitor that everyone loves. And it looks great. So graphically, it looks top notch. All right, now for gameplay, the main loop is gear and shooting. The the shooting feels great to me. And that's something I've been getting into more and more is how different do the guns feel? How good do they feel? And I got to say, some guns feel better than others. That's going to be a personal preference. I love the auto rifles, for example. I think they feel great, they sound great, but the submachine guns do as well. The pulse rifles, it takes some getting used to, but they still have a great heft to them, if that makes sense, when you're shooting them. And the gun models look great too. They are extremely varied, and they look really slick. There's a bunch of options on them. So that gets us into the loot aspect. Destiny 2 has a wide array of loot from all the different modules for your character, and then all the different ways those modules can vary, and then the options on them. So, like when you pick up a gun, you can go into it and change like some of the scoping options and the ammo, not the ammo, but the barrel, I think it is. And it just there's an enormous amount of options, and that really goes into an enormous amount of decisions for how you want your character to be, and that's critical for me at least. So the options are there for your character, and it's based around the gear. They also have introduced subclasses. So when you roll, like I'm a Titan here. When you roll that Titan, I think there are three right now subclasses, and those mainly have to do with your super form, and they are the first two were pretty similar in that they are both melee subclasses, but they added the Sunbreaker got class, I think this was called, and that is actually a ranged. You throw your Thor, you're throwing your hammer around, and I like that one a lot. I'm not really a melee kind of player. Now maybe I should have picked a different class in Titan, but I I did, so I'm making the best of it. So that's all really cool. Those are very powerful. They are they will change a fight, and there are some decent options around those too. So that's very good. The overall gameplay, PVE is pretty solid. The narrative is really cool. The voice acting is really cool. You know, the questing is what it is. After playing these kind of games for many years, you kind of see all the quests. So, you know, the questing is what it is. It, the narration around it and the environments help elevate it for sure. The the end game, I I mean, it's going to be replaying some of the same stuff you've already done. There are raids and other things like that, but it's going to be a bit of a grind. I mean, but again, it's not a grind if you enjoy the core gameplay. So if you enjoy the shooting mechanics and just enjoy playing, then it won't be a grind. But there's nothing like majorly special at the end waiting for you that's different from what you've been doing. The other e gameplay is PvP, so I am a PvP fan, and the PvP in Destiny 2 is pretty good. It's scenario based, except for their Gambit gameplay mode, which is what they call a co-op PvP experience. So there's PvE and a little PvP thrown in there, which takes some inspiration from the multiplayer battle arena games, MOBA kind of genre out there. And that's pretty cool. And there is a competitive ladder. I have not gotten into that yet. I'm still trying to get good at the regular before I start bringing down my team in competitive because nobody likes that. So there are plenty of options there. The interesting news recently is that Destiny 2 is going back to Bungie from Activision. Like it's being divested. Now, I don't know they how that's going to play out. I think that it going back to its creators will be a good thing instead of the big corporate monstrosity. But, you know, how will that affect funding? How will that affect updates? You know, that remains to be seen. They can talk all they want about that, but the proof will be in what they do. And it's too early to tell. So we're about 8 minutes into this sucker. If you're still listening, thank you very much. I think Destiny 2 is a solid game right now. If you like looter shooters, you probably already playing it. If not, I mean, I think if you can get the base game on sale, get Forsaken on sale, give it a try. It's definitely worth the cost of entry. And if you play the PvE to its conclusion, you will certainly get your money's worth. There is no doubt in that. So, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like. The positive motivation is always appreciated. And I will be making some more videos, hopefully at 4K. I think I definitely need to get into the 4K content. So, thank you very much for watching. Have a great time in the game.